The water levels have receded in various corners of Kaziranga National Park in Assam. But an uphill battle is still on. The battle to bring normalcy after the devastating flood. And it's not just the animals. People living in almost 350 villages around the park are also struggling to rebuild their lives. Their struggle unnoticed, as the focus remains entirely on the animals of this World Heritage Site.
The effects of floods in Assam and Northeast has been devastating. However, this time it could draw some national attention and garner some economical support. People from various corners such as celebrities, sportspersons, environmentalists, musicians, they all came forward to help those affected in floods. However, it is the aftermath of the flood situation which is our major concern now, which also raises the question, will there be a permanent solution to the floods in Kaziranga National Park?
Crops, livestock, even their homes washed away. There is no respite for the villagers who have been affected due to floods. Their struggle for survival still continues, and from what they say, it will continue for the next 6 months.
পানি তোমার 2 সপ্তাহ লাগিলে এয়া পানি আছেই আৰু ভালকে হে খুৱাই নাই 10 বছৰমান ধান আছিল এইকেইটা ধান আৰু শুকাই মেলা আকৌ থৈছো যেনে তেনে উঠালো পানীত উঠা আৰু যেতিয়া শুকাই ৰদ পাইছে পকালি দি পেলাই শুকান কৰি আকৌ থৈছো
Shyam Bhomik is not the only one who faced the wrath of the flood. He is one among 6,800 people who are affected.
এতিয়া আকৌ ছমাহলৈকে তেনেকাই চলি থাকিম আকৌ কষ্টটো হ'ব না তাৰপিছত আৰু ভাত চাত বনাই খাবলৈ সুবিধা নাই চৰকাৰে আমাক গেছো দিয়া নাই কিমান ফৰ্ম দিলোঁ এবাৰো পোৱা নাই 3বাৰ ফৰ্ম দিলোঁ 3বাৰতে আহা নাই গেছো আহা নাই এফালে ঘৰ বোলে ঘৰ দিব ক'ত ঘৰো আহা নাই আমি এনেকাই আছোঁ আকৌ আমাৰ এফালে বস্তি জেগাত এফালে আমাৰ একোৱেই নাহে মানে
এতিয়া আমাৰ এইটো হালি খেতিটো পোৱা নাযাওঁ পানী হলে এইটো যাব যিটো পাওঁ আমি অলপ বৰ খেতিটো পাওঁ তাৰ আৰু এইকেইটা নাপাওঁ এইকেইটা লেটাৰী খেল মা এতিয়া মোটা মানুহকেইটা মাইকী মানুহ এই বৰ চাপৰি তাতে এইফালে বাগান কাম যায় আমি ঘৰত থাকোঁ এই গৰু ছাগলী কিবা ক'ত ঘাঁহ কিবা কিবি খোৱা দুৱা ল'ৰা ছোৱালী স্কুললৈ পঠিয়াব লাগে এইকেইটা আমাৰ কাম নাই এইটো এতিয়া ৰুইছে মানুহ আৰু এক কোবত পানী আহিলে এইকেইটা যাব চব এতিয়াতো তোৰ আঘোণ মাহলৈকে ৰখিব লাগে 6 মাহ
Along with paddy fields being inundated, there are several acres of land that have now been filled with water hyacinth, adding to the apathy of villagers whose only occupation is farming.
The catastrophe was not just limited to humans, but even animals in large numbers had to pay the price. 21 horned rhinos killed, 20 wild boars lost their lives, 146 deers dead, and the list goes on. Even after days since the water levels had receded, operations to recover bodies of animals are still on. But floods in Kaziranga is not a recent phenomenon and has been an issue for several years now. However, as per experts, it is in fact nature's way to decontaminate the national park.
Spread across 430 square kilometers, Kaziranga is the home to 35 mammalians and most of the species lie within the river floodplain. So during the annual flood, River Brahmaputra submerges most of the grassland. The annual destructive cycle is necessary for the rejuvenation of the park, says the director.
For the survival of Kaziranga, flood is must. And Kaziranga is one of the national park in the riverine ecosystems, and Kaziranga is basically a grassland based habitats compared to any other protected area. To keep any habitat permanently as a grassland, so what we have to do that the annual flood is one major factor which used to keep the land as a grassland permanently, and we used to do a annual control burning also. Through these two processes, we are keeping the land permanently as a grasslands. Otherwise, this all the grassland will be converted into a woodland. So once the landscape get changed, so then it cannot support any herbivore populations. And we are having a herbivore base of somewhere around 50,000. Our hog deer population itself somewhere around 35,000 to 45,000, such a huge base. So if we couldn't take care of the grassland, so then this type of population cannot sustain in this habitat.
Large parts of the grasslands get inundated during the monsoons. So does the yearly cycle create food scarcity for animals? A perception created by concerned citizens.
This is the message we already try to give through portals like yours and through news channels, that there is no crisis of food for the wild animals. These are wild animals, it's a wild habitat, so they survive and they have their food, they have their own source of own ways of finding the food. There are areas which are not inundated, I mean there are areas where grasses are still available, and there are animals also, they migrate towards the Karbi Anglong hills, which are again natural highlands which have ample amount of food for the wild animals. So once the water recedes, the only problem that we face is whatever the grasses are available, they get dirty because of the flood water. So post flood, if we get 2-3 showers or drizzle, it cleans up the grass, and that has happened. And so now the animals are happy, they are getting a lot of grasses to eat, clean grasses I mean. So every year the flood comes in, there's a lot of biogeochemical recycling, there's a lot of nutrient recycling, and also we have a lot of water hyacinth that comes in the park, those are being washed away. Water hyacinths are being washed away. Others, these water hyacinths will clog the channels, and it might give way to rattlins and canes development. So all these things are there, and also we have a lot of animals inside the park. So the debris of these animals, a lot of urea gets deposited in the soil, those are being washed away. And another good factor is that there's the fishery. Into Kaziranga has a lot of fishes, good breeds, very good genes are there. So once the flood comes, this fish also migrates, and these are a source for the surrounding fisheries in and around the park. So there are a lot of beneficial effects. And yes, we do lose some animals, but then again that's the nature's way of probably controlling the population also.
During the floods, a large number of animals rush to safety to the adjoining highlands, putting them in harm's way as they have to cross the treacherous National Highway 37. Many animals die after being hit by vehicles. To curb this, the park authorities introduced speed limits for vehicles passing through the animal corridors. Officials of Assam Forest Department, along with police, keep round-the-clock check. During flood season, they are also accompanied by locals and several NGOs. Kaziranga has 9 animal corridors, all of them in the busy NH 37. Harmoti and Bagori ranges are considered vulnerable due to numerous dhabas, truck terminals, and oil depots.
This is basically blocking the movement of animal from Kaziranga to the nearest hills in Karbi Anglong. So those area we have to sort it out, and the government already constituted a committee. So the committee is working on that to identify all the animal movement areas and how to clear any type of barrier in the animal. In case of any land, if we have needed for the purpose of corridor, then we will purchase such land officially. So they will get proper compensations. So that process, it will go to lengthy process, but we have to follow that process. It's not like that simply evicting and to allow the animal movements. But there are people, there are establishments, they are here for more than 30-40 years. So those things we have to look into. Now we are planning to add some more islands mainly in the north bank sites, because north bank we don't have any islands. So north bank mainly in Biswanath Wildlife Division we want to put some more islands, and again in Bagori range area, the area connecting with Karbi Anglong area, we have to take care of all the corridor area, and apart from that wherever needed then we'll go for some more islands. Not typically highlands, we are planning to raise some of our southern boundary roads, so it will act as a islands and again as a road, so whenever there is a flood time also still it will be motorable. So that's we are working on that road come highland type.
The endeavor to bring down animal casualty begins at least a month ahead of the flood season. Meetings and awareness camps to educate locals to be response ready are some of the steps taken.
This time we have created a common platform for all the peoples working in and around Kaziranga National Park. All the NGOs and local peoples and organizations, they work together, and through the platform, the common platform, they denoted, they have given certain areas where they can come and help the flood affected animals, and they can rescue the animals as per requirement of the situation. They work together as a whole. Rescue part, the experts, especially from the CWRC veterinarians, are leading the team, and they used to rescue the animals.
There were also several animals that were rescued during the floods, which also include 4 rhinos. While the notion was the more animals are rescued, the more beneficial it is for the ecosystem, whereas it is the other way around.
See, we do rescue the animals, those who are not any other options, like animals coming from the park towards the human settlement. Those animals, sometimes they get separated from the mother, sometimes they get a lot of severe injury. So those individual only we do rescue. So more number of animal rescue case means we are not doing fine. If there is low number of animal rescue case means everything is going well. So wildlife, they never try to stay nearby the human being. When they get rescued, when something is wrong with their habitat, when something is wrong with them, then only they come to the nearby human settlements. Then only they get rescued. So this is something common like happening in over this region now. So less rescue means it's good for conservation, and more rescue means it's not good sign for the conservation for the wildlife.
The animal deaths have also drawn concern from conservationists. They emphasize that band-aid approaches will not bring a permanent solution. A costly overpass over NH37 is also being suggested.
Here in Kaziranga we have the busy highway. So and again this is a lifeline for the eastern part of the Assam. So we need this highway, we need this Kaziranga. So we have to compromise somewhere. So if I can tell, there is only one way to minimize the casualty in the flood, and also we will have the highway, we have to have long overpass. So long overpass will definitely reduce the mortality of animals. An animal will have free pass under the overpass.